Here's a little walk around of my 1994 Borne Free Built for Two 21-foot Class C motorhome. I'm just back here today after having taken it out on a road trip up to the San Juans recently. It's based off of the Ford E350 chassis and engine combo. So right now I just have my battery maintainer plugged into the chassis battery to keep it charged. 21 feet suits us quite well. I can still park it downtown. I don't have much. The only problem finding parking is making sure that I can fit underneath any beams and such like that, but I've never been turned down from entering a state park or a national park. Some of them have restrictions on length, but they've always let me go through. Driver's side, we got storage bins. These are the house battery banks. Freshwater tank. It's a 35-gallon freshwater tank. It's the gasoline version, so it's about 15 highway, 12 rural and mountains. This is for shore power. I got 20 feet of 30 amp cable stored in here. On the rear bumper is where I keep the sewer hose for emptying the black and gray water tanks. It's a rear entry, which saves you some space inside. I prefer rear entry than the side entry because you're losing a lot of interior space just to make sure that the door swings away. Outside on the passenger side, we have our electric and propane powered refrigerator. So if we're plugged in, we get shore power, we get 110 electrical. And when we're on the road or in the boondocks, it runs off propane. Down here, we have a 6-gallon hot water heater that you have to anticipate when you want hot water, because it takes about 10 minutes to heat up. If you're plugged into shore power or if you have a generator, you can have 2 accessory plugs. Here's the exhaust and intake for the propane furnace. And more storage and LP gas tanks are down there. It has I think it's a 50-pound. I'm not quite sure. I've only had to charge it once in 2 years. Large window and a roller furling awning on that side. Drives well, just like an oversized van. Powered step. And then we'll go inside the coach. They're doing some upgrades in here. So get some lights on. So here's the view from the back of the vehicle. It is a salon and sofa floor plan, but since we are driving most of the time, anytime we stop, we're usually time for bed, so we just keep the table collapsed. You can remove everything and you can have a table here, but we're rarely in the same spot more than a day, so we just have it set up so my dog can sleep here or on the floor while I'm driving to our next destination. In the rear, we got a wet shower. So this is your regularly flushing toilet. You got a sink and a drain and a shower head. So if you heat up the water, you could have a hot shower, but campgrounds or marinas, it's usually like $1 for like 6 minutes of hot water, so we'll just do that. I had issues with this latch on the door, and if you gotta go, you gotta go. You don't want to fool around with a lock, so what I did is I removed the lock And I actually bought a bunch of these. These are child safety locks for drawers, refrigerators, and stoves. And the original lock was always catching, so you had to have this in the right position to get the door open. But now you can just pop that open and get access. And then also when it's in storage, I just put it here, and that allows the door to stay cracked open so you don't get any mildew build up, and it holds it nice and secure. It doesn't rattle during the drive. On the driver's side, we have our sink. We do have a 35-gallon freshwater tank, so we have dual sinks and a pressurized system. Up here, these are more like our dry goods. They can pretty much stay in here full time. And we got more storage in there. On the other side of the coach, we have our propane LP 2-burner stove. We have a convection and a microwave. This runs if you're connected to a generator or shore power. If you're just running off of house batteries, you cannot use the microwave or the 15,000 BTU air conditioner. They require a lot more amperage to kick over. This is the inspection panel telling me holding tanks levels, so we can look at that. Holding tank black would be your toilet. Tank gray would be anything that comes down through the sinks. Freshwater level, liquid propane gas level, and my house batteries. That's the water pump, pressurizes the system. Hood light, and a vent. When you're cooking with propane, one of the byproducts is water vapor, so you want to suck that out so you don't get a lot of condensation. Here we have a top freezer and a 6 cubic feet refrigerator. What happened recently is that we had a 2.5 gallon bottle of water in there, and in a sharp right hand turn it slid out, pushed the door open, and fell on the floor, and we had water cascading all over the place because these plastic hinges are a little bit flimsy and they can't handle the weight of something sliding in and out. So what I did is I got these adjustable barriers that they just clamp onto the shelving inside here, so you can put your gallon of milk or water jug or whatever, and these will keep it from sliding all the way across. Then the regular door latch, and as a second backup, these are the same child-proof or child safety locks, and that just clamps in right here. So in case that doesn't hold something, this will keep the door shut until you park and can see what's happening. But there's enough tension on it, so in a sharp right turn, and once you straighten out, it has enough tension on it that it closes the door. And I put the same thing on the freezer. Although we don't really keep anything heavy, we just usually have a couple of bags of ice in there. But they come in packs of 2. They're about $5. Got these at Baby R Us the other day. Sticky pads, and this is adjustable. And then I also like the fact that when it's not being used, it will hold the door cracked, allowing air to circulate and prevent mold buildup. So I just got to remember to do that. Here's another big storage area. It's where we usually keep our luggage and some clothing, dog leashes. Dog mainly goes in and out here, so I have all her leashes hanging and towels hanging right there. Under here is where the freshwater storage is and all the plumbing to drain. I'll be opening those valves before I go. Cutlery stuff, that's the main inverter box down there when it's where all the fuses go, and also where shore power gets distributed throughout the coach. Down there is the LP furnace. This is more storage. Pots and pans and water. Gotta remember there's a little latch thingy that I gotta put back. This drawer gets kind of heavy, and it will also slide out on you if you don't put that lock in. Two large windows and shades on either side. This passenger side is a full-time sofa, and this one has the table and the two salon things. These are leftover from our tenting days. These are REI self-inflating camp beds, and they're very comfortable. They pack down really small. I usually keep them stored up there. But like I said, we just got back one day ago. But I think I'll just leave them out. It's just, they don't need to be stowed. And it's probably good if they get some fresh air on them. We got more storage up there, all along here. And we got a 19-inch television. And I also got my DVD player in there. The way I power the TV and the DVD players is that I have a 400-watt inverter that runs off of the 12-volt house batteries. And it powers the TV and the DVD player just fine. If there's internet, you can stream Netflix or anything you want on a television as well. Also has a digital antenna that you can raise, but I don't, only if I'm checking local weather or something while I look at regular TV. And then more storage over on this side. And for 2 to 3 people, this is actually the perfect size. It drives nicely. It's not much longer than an extended Suburban or Ford Excursion. So the turn radius is not the best, but you can go into town and you can still find parking, which is a good thing to have. Larger motorhomes, you gotta tow your own vehicle behind you because you can't really fit downtown a lot of times. But we've taken all this all up and down the West Coast, and we've never had really any major issues. It's still just under 90,000 miles. It's a 2-owner previous, so I'm the 3rd owner. I was in Ohio for the first 15 years, and then I went to New Jersey. But he had a family of 4, and he couldn't, once the kids got to a certain age, they didn't want to sleep on the floor anymore. So I got it relatively inexpensively, around $4,000 for the vehicle, and had to put some new belts on it for the engine, but everything else seems to be running quite well. I like that Borne Free uses solid wood, so it seems nice and solid. We have a vent here. It's both in and out, so if you don't have shore power to run the air conditioner, this does a pretty good job of cooling it down. National parks, they do not allow pets, so I can leave my dog in here with the 12-volt vent going, and she'll stay nice and cool. No issues. That's the thermostat for the LP furnace. And here's just a closer look at the air conditioner. This coach is wired for a generator, which you would start from here, but they ended up not ordering it with a generator. So I'm thinking about it, but Generally, we always have access to some sort of power. So I don't know if the $2,000 is really worth it. Anyway, that's a look at my 1994 Borne Free Adventure Mobile. Thanks for watching.